Natural Born Pranksters is directed by Roman and it stars him along with Vitaly. And here it is, the prankster YouTube version of Jackass. And this is a movie that is home and bred from YouTube. These guys are pranksters on YouTube, and they do all these pranks, and they finally got popular enough so that they could do a movie. And I was excited to see this because I'm a fan of their YouTube pages. Vitaly's crazy, he's Russian, and like he does crazy funny pranks, and then Roman Atwood, he has a lot more family kind of stuff nowadays, but he has some hilarious, crazy things that he does as well. And I was excited to see these guys because they're really cool, fun guys to watch on YouTube, and their pranks are always inventive and usually crazy and funny. And I was excited about them making this movie because obviously I'm a fan of them. And unfortunately, this movie is kind of just the greatest hits of their YouTube. You know, like the movie has direct clips from their YouTube pages, so like almost half of the movie I feel like I've already seen. And the thing is, with a movie, you want it to be bigger and better and like crazier. And I feel like even watching interviews with these guys, they were almost reined back so that they couldn't do things that they could do on YouTube. Because on YouTube, they literally can do whatever they want, and that's awesome. They do crazy, insane pranks, maybe things that go a little bit too far even. But in the movie, like, they have a bigger budget and it's like better quality, like audio and picture and everything, and they could do some bigger setups and all that. But overall, the actual pranks just aren't as fresh as their YouTube page, and that's kind of disappointing to me. None of them were really all that new even. There was a lot of reused pranks that like they've done already on YouTube, so I kind of wanted to see them go crazier and bigger and like do things, but I feel like because they were making a movie, they had to rein it back a little bit because, you know, people were paying for them to do this stuff, so they had to like try to do some different pranks. And, you know, not all the pranks are bad. Like, in fact, most of them are really good. It's just that if you've seen their YouTube stuff, which, you know, if you were watching this movie, most of you probably have. That's why you're seeing it, because it's like, oh, I love these guys. Yeah, I want to check out their movie. Seeing it as a fan, you're a little bit disappointed because you've already seen so much of these things done by them already. And, you know, you just wish that they could have done a little bit more with, you know, the resources that they had. There are a lot of cool new pranks in there, a lot of long setups that they have, but even with those things, I like the setup that they have for it. But in the beginning of all their videos, they would always, oh, this is our prank, this is what we're gonna do. And in the movie, they decided to just like set up the scene for you, but they don't tell you what the prank is. So a lot of times you're kind of like, okay, where's the funny part in all this, you know? And some of it was paid off pretty well, but even when it paid off well, they only did the prank one time. It's like they wanted to fit as many pranks as they could, but I wanted to see a few people to go through like these pranks because they set all this time setting it up. You wanted to see more payoff. But overall, it was a movie that, it's not an awful movie to watch. It's definitely not a great movie. This is definitely a Jackass kind of movie. It's filled with just prank after prank after prank. There's no like direct like storyline or anything. It's just prank after prank after prank. So it almost feels almost made for TV. So like there's specific parts that felt like this is where the commercial will go. Okay, this is where the commercial will go, and it feels more made for TV, or even for YouTube. It feels like this would just be a cool long episode that they would have. I wouldn't exactly recommend seeing it in a theater, unless there was like a big packed theater. You might get a little bit more enjoyment out of it, but this is something that you could just watch as a fan, and it's not awful to watch, but it's kind of long, and you've seen a lot of it already, so this would almost be better to just split up into parts just on the YouTube page. I was a little bit disappointed by the movie overall because I expected to laugh a little bit more at some of the stuff, because their stuff always makes me laugh on their videos, and in the movie it kind of came off a little bit stale. I didn't hate watching it. It was cool seeing the guys. It was cool seeing them be in their own movie and everything. Maybe the next movie will be bigger and better, but for this one, I thought it was just okay. I'm gonna have to go 2 out of 5 for this one. A little bit disappointed. Didn't hate it. I'm a big fan of these guys. I loved watching them, but overall the movie was disappointing. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this and you want to see more reviews from a guy like me, you could subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one.